So do federal tax liens expire? In this video, we're going to talk about federal tax liens, state tax liens, property tax liens, child support tax liens, all the different liens that can potentially be on a property and what happens to them. Look at federal tax liens are the worst out there, but by the time we're going to be getting at this, you're going to see all sorts of different ways this can either help or not with you. But here's the cool thing about this. At the very end of this video, I've got a free gift for you that shows you how you can profit off of these situations. In other words, you know what? Invest in what is owed already to the government and you might be better off anyways. So stick around for that. If you have any questions or comments, just type them in the questions below, hit the thumbs up, send it to a friend that needs to be watching this. So do federal tax liens expire? The answer to that question is yes and no. So there's all sorts of different liens that can be put on you or a property. Okay, a federal tax lien means you've kind of ignored everybody. I mean, literally that means you ain't talking to anybody, you haven't opened up your mail, they've been trying to negotiate with you and it just haven't happened. State tax liens are more aggressive actually than the federal tax liens, okay? In most states, they have a lot more power because they control the counties, okay? You got to go all the way back in our history and understand we are the United States of America. We're not America, okay? We're North America, okay, but we're not America. We're the United States of America. Think if Europe actually, you know, the European Union, as a joke that is, if they actually started that way in the very beginning and there was a president and all that other good stuff, you know, that's what happened. And I know it's like, well, come on, Sean, we kind of know that. Well, we've lost that a little bit, I think. And I'm not making a political statement, but COVID kind of brought that back because when they kicked it back to the states and said, here, what we think you should do, but the states are going to allow it. So some states said, this is how we're going to handle COVID. Then it was really cool because the counties would interpret how the state did it. And I was like, well, yeah, that's how they do it with tax liens. So whenever I'm buying tax liens and tax deeds across the United States, and people go, why is it that every single county is different? I'm going, well, that's good because it keeps that normal person from that hedge fund company from systematizing it. Number one. Number two is you just got to find the idiosyncrasies within. So I've been used to each jurisdiction being different. So as soon as COVID hit and they kicked it back to the states, me being in California, I had a lot of people saying, oh God, California's locked down. I'm like, well, not the county that we're in. They're like, what do you mean? I said, well, we're in this particular county and they're really not enforcing a whole lot of COVID. Not making a political statement, but literally the county right next to us was like, you know, mask and, you know, 18 feet, whatever all that goofy stuff was. Anyways, so, you know, when it comes to different types of liens, the feds, you know, have some power on that, but not like the state does. Okay, because the state can go into the county and go, we need this money and we need it now, and they'll supersede. Not above the state though, or the county, excuse me. So if a state lien is put against a property and they seize the property, from those proceeds, the property tax is going to be paid because the county's going to go, you guys can do whatever you want, but until somebody pays us our taxes, or you and I, the investor, the tax liens, nothing's going to happen. So let's talk about federal tax liens. Do they disappear on that? And I said yes and no, but let's just talk about most likely it's going to be an Internal Revenue Service, IRS lien. And I am not a CPA, so let's just address that right now. You know, I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night, so that was funny. Okay, so but bottom line is this. I know the basic rules on this and they're really goofy. If you owe the federal government money and they don't come after you, like they never send a letter for 10 years, then it can technically not really disappear, but they can no longer attach a property with it. You may still owe the money. But if any time during that 10 years, and if you're a CPA or whatever and you want to correct me on this, I have no problem with that at all. Because I'm just giving you some general, I don't think anybody's here coming to take your CPA exam. If the IRS comes in and sends any kind of a notification about this debt that's owed, it renews that 10-year window. So as long as there's communication going on, you're kind of in the crosshairs on that. I've seen some people that have tried to do all these things to avoid this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my money over here. Look, you may not see it, but you have a cloud over you. Do whatever you have to do to pay it. Negotiate, get some good people around you, and you're going to be okay. State tax liens, on the other hand, and again, even if the feds come in there and they try to seize the property, if you're the lien holder of record and anybody watching me knows that that's the way to go on it, okay, they're not going to be able to wipe you out, okay? You're still going to have your position there. In order to take the property and sell it, they would still have to pay off the property taxes on it. So we're talking about several different motions. We've got federal tax liens, we've got state tax liens, and then we've got county tax liens. So let me give you an example of a county tax lien. Maybe you owe child support, and this particular county, Waka Waka County says, we're coming after you because you haven't been paying county, or child support. So they may come after you, but first thing that they're going to do is they're going to probably levy bank accounts or paychecks and stuff like that. So again, I'm kind of wandering around this because I'm telling you, if you have a federal tax lien, a state tax lien, or a county tax lien against you or your properties, it's because you haven't been answering your mail. I mean, you're being completely untouchable or unreasonable in a lot of ways. Not most of the time, a lot of times you might not even owe the money just because they send you the notification. I know somebody that the state says, oh, you owe us $10,000 in taxes. And I'm like, no, you don't. I said, because I was involved in this deal, I said, they sent the same letter to me. My CPA got it and got rid of it within about 4 or 5 days. So you should do the same thing. So they were mistaken and they corrected it from there. Now, property taxes are another thing. If you owe property taxes, there's nothing you can do with that property until the property taxes are sold. Now, you can try to sell it, but you're not going to be able to close escrow. You're not going to be able to do any of that until you pay the property taxes off. This is what makes that investment so good. As a tax lien investor, yes, that's right, you can do this. So if the county's owed some money, let's say that they're owed, a few $1,000s in property taxes, and they don't pay it, the county has the legal right to offer those up to the public, that would be me and you, after 1 year. So once they do that, let's say it's $3,000. And they say, okay, you give us the $3,000 so we can run the schools, the fire department, the parks and recs, hospitals, police department, et cetera. We'll go ahead and use that money, but we'll also give you the interest rate that we've been charging the property owner, which typically, brace yourself for this, can be 16, 18, even 25% return on your money. The property owner doesn't even realize you've done this because it's already been done. The lien is already there. The county's just like, we kind of need the money. Okay? So when the public comes in, that's you and me, Joe Public comes in there, or you can be John Public or Susie Public. It depends on how you identify. You can be John Susie Public. It doesn't really matter. Okay? You can go in there, put that money up there, and then that lien amount will be in your name. So as soon as that person walks into the county to pay off that taxes plus that penalty, the county's going to go, oh, Sean's the one that bought this lien, and they send a check for the full amount plus the interest rate on there. Kind of beautiful. If they don't, within a prescribed amount of time, and typically that's about 2 or 3 years, okay? Every state has their own rules on this. If you haven't paid the property tax in 2 or 3 years, the individual, in this case me, I put up the money for those delinquent taxes. I say, enough's enough. I foreclose on the property and I'm good to go. Now, literally, if I foreclose on a property due to delinquent property taxes, I supersede everything, including federal liens, all state liens. The only thing I won't supersede is another county lien. So if the property owner owes other property taxes, the county would require me to bring those up in current, and then they would foreclose on the property. And if the person didn't come in there, make no mistake about it, I would own that property free and clear of all liens and encumbrances for simply paying a few years in back taxes. We've been doing this for years. I've been doing this for 30 years. It's been around for over 300 years. United States is the only place that has this. Yay, United States. Okay, everybody wins because I'm buying the property owner 3 years. The county wins because they get your money and you get to take the interest rate that the county would have gotten. Now, there's a lot of information on this, and I would love for you to find financial independence for you and your family. So I've got a free gift for you for staying this long. All you have to do is go to higginsmethod.com. It's in the description down below. And if you say, I really, really like this in the comments, I will give it to you free. Now, you don't even have to do it. Just click on that. I'll send you out a complimentary course I just put together showing you how A to Z to do tax liens and tax deeds all over this country. This is Saen Higgins saying God bless and good luck.